Hi, welcome to the Online Jewelry Academy. I'm Professor John Ahr and I'm your instructor. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use cold connections to make a pendant. Now, you're probably thinking, what are cold connections? Well, you have a cold connection at home. It's probably right in front of you, and that would be a stapler. Think about it. Two pieces of paper joined together without any heat was done with a staple. So we don't need this guy for this video because there's no heat necessary. Now, staples are great. In fact, my first piece of jewelry was a staple chain. And you don't want to wear that because it's going to rust, it'll cut you, and you'll end up with lockjaw and you'll need a tetanus shot. So just forget about that. But we are going to use tabs in order to create a pendant. Now, you could use all kinds of cold connections, and cold connections are primarily used to connect metal together to capture something that would be damaged by heat. For example, your favorite piece of shell or an enamel. Well, you could maybe use something like rivets. We have a video on that with guest instructor Jennifer Monroe, and she showed you how to set rivets expertly to secure two pieces of metal together. Now, you could also use things like prongs. And if you look, we have a video on turtle settings, which is very similar to today's lesson. The turtle setting uses prongs, which are like tabs, to capture a cabochon stone. But you could think of regular prongs on any type of mounting as cold connections. Okay, so let me show you what the tools are, and then we'll get to the project. First of all, what you're going to need is a template for this project. And I'm using a circle template because I want to keep it simple, but you can use any shape you want. And something about this template that I like, it has a little ruler on it. So if your template doesn't have a ruler, you may need a ruler as well. I'm also going to need my jeweler saw, the best cutting tool you have, a large file. In this case, I have a half round file. I also have a Ball-Peen hammer, and I'm just going to be using the striking surface or the flat face. I have a small needle file, and this one's for making the grooves for the tabs perfect. I have a permanent marking pen, a center punch, and then I have my flex shaft and an appropriate drill bit. You're going to need copper sheet metal, but you could make this out of any metal. I have pliers and double stick tape. And over here, I've got some paper elements that I can capture. Now, you could capture anything, fabric, your picture from your driver's license. Just make sure that the paper that you use is laminated so that if water hits it, it doesn't get ruined. But like I said, you could use fabric or almost anything. Your favorite baby blanket would be acceptable for this project. Okay, let me show you this example, and then we'll get started. Now, over here I have a paper model that kind of explains how tabs are used. There are two parts to this model, and I'll push them apart. And you can see that I have a circle that's colored red, and it has pointed red tabs coming off of it at the cardinal points. Now, over here I have a circular cutout with slits that will accept those tabs so that when I put them back together, the tabs become a decorative element of the design because they're on the top surface and coming up from behind, just like that. The tabs in this case, we're going to put behind. So you can either make them a decorative element or you can hide them. Doesn't really matter. Okay, so let me show you the pattern that we're going to be working with. First of all, I've got the main body of the pendant piece itself. I have a little area here that can be drilled out to create a bail so that it's wearable. And like I said, I'm working with a circle. So I've got a large circle drawn. And then you can see I've marked the cardinal points, and I've also marked a point in between the cardinal points for where the bail will sit. Now, in the middle, there's a circle. Now that circle is to show me where the top element is going to sit. And the top element will be cut from this material over here. But the cardinal points tell me exactly where I need to create the slits to accept the tabs. Now if you look over here, you can see that on this textured piece of metal, I've drawn the same size circle that I have on the larger piece for the outside of this circle. And then I've drawn a smaller circle on the inside of it so that I can cut that out to expose the material I want to capture. Now, from the cardinal points, I drew lines 2 millimeters from each of those cardinal lines to give me the area for the tabs. And I've put the end of them at 6 millimeters away from the outside of the circle. Now, you'll notice that this has a beautiful pattern on it. I did that by running it through the rolling mill with a piece of knit fabric. And we have videos on how to use the rolling mill. There's in fact a complete playlist. Okay, I won't make you watch me cut them out, but here they are. There's the back piece, and here's the cut top piece with the tabs. Now, putting it together is really, really simple. I'm going to need my double stick tape, and I'm going to need a paper element. In this case, I'm going to use a little kissy emoji. So all I need to do is to take a piece of double stick tape, apply it to the back of the paper element, and then I just want to pretty much just center it exactly in the opening of this piece, and then find the position. Wait a minute, I got to get it centered just right. There we go. And then I want to find a position where it's going to fall with the tabs, and then put it down tight just by pushing on it. Okay, so that's ready to be accepted. Now I have to prepare this piece. And all I need to do, I'm going to put on my safety glasses. They have magnification, so it makes it easier for an old man like me to see. So I'm using my flat nose pliers, and I'm going to come up right to the edge of the circle, just like that. And then I'm just going to give it a bend so that I create a right angle. And I want to do this on all of the tabs. So I'm just going to go around one by one. Now, like I said, you can use any shape that you want for this project. It doesn't have to be a circle. Okay, so that was really easy. And you can see how now it's just a circle. Okay, now's the fun part. I get to drop it in. You want to make sure that it's pushed down tight, and you can use your pliers for this. Just push, just right up against these tabs. Okay, then you can turn it over, and just using your fingers, just push them down. Now the piece is secure like this, but if you want to make sure that it's in there really tight, you could either take it to a soft surface and lightly tap it with the hammer to push down the tabs, or I have this tool, which is really fun. These are parallel pliers, and I can just squeeze with the parallel pliers, and that way I don't leave any marks, and the tabs are all down tight. And there we go. We have our little cold connection pendant using tabs. I hope you liked this project. We have many more projects like it on the onlinejewelryacademy.com. If you click the button in the lower right-hand corner, you can instantly become a subscriber to the OJA, and you can always follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Thanks for watching.